Hello, dear audience, ladies and gentlemen from the world. Once again, welcome all of you to come to live of the Assistive Technology for Life 2020 Taipei, Taiwan. Now, this is the year 2020, the first half year of the outbreak of COVID-19 appears around the world, spread out the world. But Taiwan is very unique because of the early preparation, so make our conference, the exhibition, still live and popular. So in the previous 3 days, crowd of people come into the exhibition. Well, in the day one, we count about 20,000. Day two, about 33,000. Yesterday, we counted 40,000 in total, but over than 90,000. We expect today we'll get it more because it is Sunday. During the exhibition, we designed different way to introduce the company and the product for our world audience, including the on-site visit, the live streaming, introduction about the tour, and also introducing a very prominent Taiwanese company and their advantage product to all over the world. So right now, you're looking at a very special company. We introduced this the last afternoon. Now, the company name is the Teh Lin, and they are focused on the special product. And the gentleman sitting next to me is the technical director of the company, Mr. Chet Dixon. So, Dixon, would you like to say hello to our audience around the world, beginning?
Hello, everyone.
Well,
nice to be here. Thank you for having me.
Sure. Now, we are in the studio live. Now, I understand that Teh Lin is a well-known company, distribute a product around the world. So to begin, would you like to share the company overview to our audience?
Certainly, certainly. Well, Teh Lin is a family-owned business. We're in the third generation. The business has been in existence for 60 years and was actually founded by an amputee, a motorcycle repairman. Lost his leg in an accident and then started this business 60 years ago. We specialize in prosthetics, upper and lower extremity prosthetic componentry, and patient care services.
Sure. So in terms of the prosthetics products you bring here, have two unique and I think it's a very dedicated product here. So would you like to show us what is the difference of the two and the difference in the similarity?
Certainly, certainly. What I have here are our most advanced patient user products that we manufacture. They're microprocessor controlled knees, so that means there's small little computers in each of these that can control the valves that control the extension and flexion resistance on the knee settings. So each one of them utilize what we call a triple axis G sensor or gravity sensor. And what that does is it can predict how fast the knee is going through an extension or flexion moment. It can detect its angle, and it can also detect what we call its impaction. So amount of force going through the knee in a vertical position. Collecting all this information, it's sent to the microprocessor, and then the microprocessor tries to predict or estimate what the user is doing with the knee, what type of activity they're doing. Are they walking fastly? Are they walking down a hill, walking up a hill? And then it will make small, minute adjustments to the resistance levels in order to assist the user walking efficiently.
Okay, so there are two products right over here. Okay, in the right side, we can call it the V1. It's a first generation product, right? And that is the next generation. So what's the functional differences?
Okay, well, they're both actually, at this point, second generation products. The V1 is a value one product. So it's a more affordable, more modest design elements. It's a 4-bar design, technically speaking. The battery is not as robust as the ATLife, so it requires a 2 to 3 hour charge for a 1 to 2 day usage. And the V1 is also geared more towards a lower to moderate activity type patient. And the ATLife is a little bit more advanced, more robust in design. It has a 5-bar design feature. This allows us what we call stance flexion. There's also what we call a mechanical lock for the first 0 to 15 degrees of knee flexion. So this can provide some shock absorption capabilities for the patient. And again, the battery is a little bit different, more robust, requires about an hour and a half to 2 hours of charge for 2 days of use. This product's geared toward a moderate to a more active type patient.
Okay, so one of the differences is about the direction of the use, and also it's very functional and very technical. So it requires a doctor's order or a consultation, right?
Correct.
Correct.
Well, you know, prosthetics generally we work very closely with the physician, gain the physician's confidence in our abilities and skills, and then they will generally send the patient to us, and we can make recommendations for a particular product or specific type of component for the patient.
Sure. So with that, your prospect, most of the target you're looking at is the professional institution. And this also when you go into the different markets.
Yeah, we're in a very unique situation because yes, we have to work through. We're affiliated with many hospitals here in Taiwan, as well as in mainland China, where we do have our patient care services. Then we have an extensive distribution network throughout the world. But we also have to work very closely with the patient. The patient has to understand the product and be willing to make the investment in the product.
Sure. So, okay, from your perspective, if you want to make a suggestion, what are the important characteristics you will suggest for the client, for your users? What's the most important items in the front?
Well, our goal here is to improve how a patient walks.
Yes.
And we want them to walk the best they can with the least amount of energy they can. This allows them to do as many activities as they'd like to do throughout the day. So that's what we really stress with the patient.
Right. So the duration of use, the time is so important as well, because you mentioned about the different duration of the two types. Okay. Okay, so looking forward, are you looking for the marketing strategy in the future, or because the audience behind the camera would be the buyer or the distribution around the world? So what your next strategy working with the world?
Well, we really would just like to increase our presence in developing markets, because this is a very affordable technology compared to some of our competitors' versions. And so there's a real opportunity in those markets that are still in developing economies or moderately mature economies to use this advanced technology.
Okay, great. So before we conclude the interview, I would like to emphasize one more time. Now, the company we invite in the studio, they are located in Taiwan, based in Taiwan, R&D, design, manufacturing. So very Taiwan important one. So if you want to contact, you have any needs to contact this company, so how do we contact you?
We have a website, tehlin.com, TEHLIN.com. Certainly, we have a big Facebook presence, of course, everybody does these days. So there's many ways to find us. Okay, good. Now we have the amount of professional staff working with you together in the future and go into the long care system and the healthcare industry. So once again, thank you very much for coming. Anything you want to add before we conclude the interview? Well, thank you very much for having me. It's been a pleasure, and I really appreciate being here. All right, thank you too. So thank you very much for watching this interview for the company. Well, stay tuned. Come back later for the next one. Thank you very much, and see you later. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.